Attention everybody, the views expressed on the show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group and or their affiliate and supported ministries and or non-profits. So I'm going to go ahead and merge on over so you guys can see us. I'm just talking. Okay, so I had to reset my phone yesterday and I got to get all my music downloaded back onto it again. So I'm going old school. For the first, 3.5 years we had this song as our opening song. So, here we go. For those of you who've been watching for a while,
Come on.
you guys will know just a little bit. Here we go. Good morning! Coming to you live from Acts Media Group headquarters here in beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay, with your hosts, Matt and Jay. I'm going to go ahead and back it off now, because I don't want to play too much of it and then, have them muted or something. Good morning, everybody.
Right.
Welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
We're glad to have everybody on board with us today. Now, you're probably wondering, where is everybody? Well, Steve O Mickey Mac is not here today. We do have a pre-recorded segment we will play. Unfortunately, we're supposed to play music on there in regards to like some of the people that they're talking about on that show, but we won't be able to because I haven't got the permission yet from them. So, anyways, that's neither here nor there. What's going on in the world today, Jay?
I'm not really sure. I know that they're doing something about the impeachment in the House.
The Senate.
I thought the Senate brought the impeachment to the House.
No, the House brings
The House brought it to the Senate. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't understand all that much about it.
Well, this is it's a witch hunt, is all it is.
Yeah.
They're just, they don't like the decision that the American public made.
Why is government so disconnected from the people? This is not what I see.
It's a business
in my
to
daily
them.
I'm a cashier. I see hundreds of people a day. Hundreds of working American people, and homeless, not just not even all working people. I see ex-convicts. I see people who've never committed a crime. All people trying to survive in this world and in this country today, working hard. And I see problems that they could solve very quickly.
Yeah.
But they're not even focusing on the things that would solve those problems. They're focusing on something else.
Right.
And it really bothers me to see all of these people suffering so much.
Steve Schultz, Steve O Mickey Mac.
And they're up there doing something else that has no relationship to what the everyday person needs.
Yeah, their own private agendas should not be allowed. And that's what this is. It's the Democrats that are unhappy with the fact that President Trump is in office. They've made it. They are using their powers given to them by us to try and unseat him from the presidency.
Yeah.
And also trying to get his name off the ballot. And they're trying to revoke his executive powers. So, if any of you guys are listening to this show.
I don't know, though. Are they really trying to do that? Because if they were trying to do that, they'd have a strong case.
They don't have a strong case, but they got to do something.
I think they're distracting.
I think you're
I
probably
think
right.
they're up to other things that we would not approve of, and this is all a ruse. Because they know that they can't legally do.
Melton?
And I just don't see. I just see it's they're all just turning their backs on us is what I think they're doing.
And they showed all right. So last night I was watching, and there was a video shown of President Obama talking to the Russian ambassador, saying, "You tell Vladimir that this is my last term as president. Once I'm done with this, I can be more flexible." And then he said, "I will pass this to Vladimir for you."
Yeah.
Why isn't anybody investigating that? What is he talking about? That sounds way worse than what they're trying to impeach Trump for.
It's in the past. It's gone. I mean, yes, those things, they should be held accountable for those things. But that should be done in a court of law. That should be done in a court of law. If they've committed crimes, take it to a court of law. Our government is supposed to be representing us today with the problems we have right now today. And why are they telling us what's important to us?
Yeah. We're
They've
telling them
turned
what's
their.
important to us.
We should be telling them what's important to us. They shouldn't be telling us what's important to us. And then we just all kind of bite.
And you know what makes me sad is there are some new level or newer level or actual people that are in the government that because they want to help Americans. They want to help the citizens that they represent. But they're being overshadowed by all these higher-ups that are just being completely dumb
Yeah.
and selfish.
And anytime we have an election, the candidates that are up for election are all propped up by the parties that are all status quo. They have turned their back on us. They're doing whatever it is they want to do. They're telling us what's important to us and then fighting over that, I think, as a way of distracting everybody from what's really happening in our country and in our world.
Exactly. Good morning, Linda Fleetwood. She said, have a blessed day. Steve McCouch says, good morning, Marcia and Scott. Good morning, Jana Hale.
But there are still more
Jana's
important
on.
things.
Yay.
And I was looking at the scripture in James. It says, James, a bondservant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith, with no doubting. For he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. For let not that man suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. I see myself as this man.
Yeah.
Because for me to go where I've gone recently to Crosswalk of Hope, to be involved in a way that I think God has called me to do, and for me, the writing was on the wall. And I needed that because I think that my faith lacks in being guided by the Holy Spirit. So the Lord has led me there. And for me, in an undeniable way, the signs were just overwhelming, and I couldn't deny that this was someplace that I was supposed to be for some reason. And I'm there, and already it seems like I've run into some issues where I'm not able to do what I'm supposed to be doing. And I think it's because it's my fault, because of my lack of faith and my needing this writing on the wall instead of my just going in faith and getting in there and doing. I think one thing I heard also was that I needed to take it slow, which I don't understand. I don't know. It's been a struggle for me, and it's only been a short time that I've been there. But the way I see it is God called me there for a very specific reason. It seemed like the way he did it, it was now that it needed to be done. Now I'm there now, and I'm not understanding why I'm coming up to this blank place where there's nothing there.
No, that's
and I feel like needing the writing on the wall, again, like in every circumstance, is not possible. It's not something that I should expect from the Lord. I need to have faith,
right.
And I need to be more sensitive to the Holy Spirit and be able to overcome to have an effect on God's behalf in this place where there's this blankness there all of a sudden, like there's nothing there. I'm like, God, why did you bring me here? There's nothing here.
right.
You know? And maybe God wants me to put the writing on the wall.
You know, I think the point of the writing on the wall was it was a disembodied hand writing it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm not talking about that. No, you're referring to Nebuchadnezzar.
Well,
right?
I mean that's where that phrase came from.
Right, but that's not how I'm using it.
But it's meaning a message
That's
coming
not how
from
I'm
God.
using it, though, Matt.
I know,
What I'm
but
saying is that in my life, God gave me signs that made it, that took away any doubt of where I'm supposed to be right now.
Meaning our hands weren't on it, so you shouldn't have to put the writing on the wall. That's what I was trying to say. You shouldn't have to put the writing on the wall, metaphorically speaking. I know that's what you're talking about. I know you're not talking about Nebuchadnezzar.
Right, the writing was already on the wall for me, and I'm there now.
Right.
But now it's blank. There's like nothing there. Like I'm there, like in this void, saying.
Maybe somebody else erased the writing on the wall.
Like so, there's this void. Like what? Okay, so what am I here for? And there's nothing to be there for. Like I don't understand what I'm supposed to do.
Maybe the reason you're there has not happened yet.
Yeah.
Maybe you're there preemptively before it happens.
Then why would it be so important to God that it happened right now?
I don't know. We'll have to ask God that.
Yeah.
The thing is, we humans we mess up the writing on the wall all the time.
Yeah.
You know, be like, how did this get here?
Right.
You know, and then it's not there anymore. God will put it back.
Yeah.
But you know, that was. I knew you didn't mean Nebuchadnezzar. I was trying to make an analogy.
Right.
And you kind of snapped at me a bit.
Well, yeah, because I didn't want to get off onto the story of Nebuchadnezzar
No,
because that's not the story I'm talking about. I'm talking about my story.
I wasn't talking about Nebuchadnezzar either. I mean, I was like trying to make an analogy of, you know, the writing on the wall was done by a disembodied hand, meaning nobody in the room was doing the writing on the wall. Nobody was taking it off, putting it on. It was
Yeah,
God.
that's what I felt was happening to me, though.
But that
The signs that God put in my life to point me in the direction that I'm the place where I am now were, in a sense, the writing on the wall for me.
right.
And I don't mean in the Nebuchadnezzar sense,
I
because he
know.
was condemned by the writing on the wall.
Right. But I mean, that's
I was led to a place where God has a purpose for me this way.
I knew you weren't talking about Nebuchadnezzar though.
Right.
I knew that was a completely different story.
Right.
But that's, at least people know that's where that phrase comes from. If
But
you
I
don't
saw
know,
God's hand in it, is
Yeah.
what I mean. God's hand in what was leading me to this place where I am.
yeah, and you're there. So now, sometimes you have to be still and wait. But
What is this?
what?
Larry says, 100,000 people are trying to get into the building that only holds 8,000 people.
In New
at the
Jersey,
New
bro. In the New Jersey rally for the president.
Right.
That's in New Jersey? Huh. Wow. It sounds like, if you remember, when I moved to Springfield knowing I was supposed to be there, but then I got scared, wasn't quite sure exactly what to go with, needing a job, place to live, and fear and uneasiness. That was their uneasiness that was there. Sounds like that. That was from Dennis Everson. He was on our show yesterday. He also does all the updates on our website.
These are good comments. Very, very hopeful. Very hopeful.
People are still.
I think that I need to confront something there, though. I think there's something there I'm getting a feeling that there's something there I need to confront, because in a way I'm being blocked out by some force that's, and maybe it's just my own fears. But you know how sometimes, like when you're dealing with people, you get a sense, or through communication with the people and your attempts to communicate with the people, you get some idea of what the relationship is going to turn into and how you're going to interact and relate to the people. But I'm somehow there's somehow a block there, like there's no willingness to engage with me.
Yeah. Larry Mountain says, first of all, Janice says, that was heavy.
Yeah, I saw that.
Jay, you are
Thank
a
you.
blessing to me and so many others, so stand strong. Steve says, sometime we need to wait and be still and listen. Mike,
Yeah, I think so too. But it's curious to me why I would get such strong signs of what God wanted me to do and where he wanted me to be.
would you have went there?
Well, and look at Saul, right? He
Yeah.
had to go up on the mountaintop and wait for the prophet to do and he waited and he saw what was happening around him and he couldn't wait anymore, and then he did the wrong thing and God cursed him. And I don't want to be that guy.
Right. Well, my question to you is this: would you have went if the writing wasn't so brightly colored, so to speak?
You know, I don't think I would have.
All right then. He had to get you there.
Right.
Now you're there for whatever purpose he's got you there.
I'm not equipped for it. I know that. So I know that God's going to use me in a mighty way because he's going to have to do it. You know, this is not something I'm equipped for. And I don't really know what to do. The only thing I can do is probably try to make some very strong breakthroughs in this thing that I'm sensing that is an obstacle that's keeping me from what I'm there for. You know?
Yeah. Well, everybody keep that in your prayers. It is time for us to do a commercial, isn't it?
It is.
Hold on just a second. Let me pull up my website here. I'm running a little bit slow this morning.
And it sounds like, I guess, people all feel like they're in that same place in some way. Because it seems like they relate very quickly and have something to say. So I imagine it's because it's a common feeling or sensation that we get.
Yeah.
When God calls us to something.
Well, you know, it's tough. I mean, you don't do it easily. You do it with prayer and fasting. When you say, "Here I am, Lord, send me," and I saw the writing too. You know, I saw God's hand in it. You know, it seemed like, all right, so you decided you were going to move. You had nowhere to go. You were going to move out regardless.
Yeah. No
right?
idea that this was.
Then all of a sudden, boom, you're needed over here.
Yeah.
I know that. I mean, I can't wait to see what God does.
And that's what I'm wondering is if I'm needed there, what am I needed for? Nobody's asking anything of me.
Yet.
When I try to, you know, when I offer my help in some way, there's a rejection of the offer. But then I find out later that there were needs that I could have helped with. I don't understand that. That's curious to me. And
well, you know, I tell you what.
I'm concerned about that, and I don't want to let it slip away.
It's, you know, I mean, you're not going to have to talk about it because we're talking about it on the air right now. So we probably should not talk about it anymore as far as like any specifics.
Why?
Because the people you need to talk to about it may be watching the show and they've not known anything of it.
I suppose so.
So yeah, that's talk about blindsiding. We don't want to do that.
Right. Oh well.
So today, let's do a real quick commercial. Am I merged over already?
No.
My face? Poor people have to see my face all the time.
It's not merging. There we go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. I may look a little bit sleepy.
Is it Natural Solutions?
NaturalSolutionsStore.bz. I may look a little bit sleepy-eyed, but I swore off the energy drinks that I've been taking for the past, I don't know, year or so. So I'm a little bit, you know, my brain's having a hard time getting fired up today. But today's show is brought to you by NaturalSolutionsStore.bz and today's product, 5-HTP. It's a building block of serotonin. That's the feel-good neurotransmitter that regulates our moods, our sleep cycles, and even influences our response to pain. Now, preliminary evidence suggests that the supplementation with 5-HTP may promote weight loss by helping to reduce appetite and caloric intake. 5-HTP provides a natural mood-enhancing ingredient to promote well-being and stress reduction, which may be especially beneficial to those on a weight management program. It contains 180 capsules, up to 6 times as many as our competitors. All Herbal Alchemist products are USA manufactured in an FDA-registered facility according to strict CGMP standards. Our formulation is non-GMO, gluten-free, and all-natural. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. So, back to you guys. You want to merge me on back over?
I'm going to merge you back over here, Matt.
So I did a lot of work. Dad and I did a lot of work on the car yesterday.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Because, you know, when you said it's squirrely, I almost was like, I take offense to that. I like my car. But then I was driving and I'm like, you know, I was paying attention. It really is kind of squirrely.
Yeah.
And I noticed that my miles per gallon dropped significantly. Like where I could go almost 300 miles on a tank of fuel, I was only able to go about not even close to 200. So I knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
And plus, you'd be driving, all of a sudden you're, whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah, I noticed that.
That's the brake. The brake seized up on the driver's side. I mean, it was seized, hardcore.
Front,
yeah. Like I almost could have broke loose the lugs. I could almost break loose
with the tire off the ground.
With the tire off the ground. Dad did have to hit the brake, but I did have to take the wheel off, obviously.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we ended up having to get a new caliper and bracket. Well, the bracket came with the caliper.
Of course.
And let's see, what else did I have to do? We replaced the headlights. So now I've got clear white headlights that are bright, bright, bright.
The world's shining back at you now.
Yes, I'm like, wow. Remember I told you the other night?
Is it too bright for you?
Almost. I'm like, I feel bad driving down the road. I'm like, I feel like I'm blinding people. Because, with tinted headlights, it's bright enough to see, but there's a certain tint to it, I told you the other day, I was like, I think it might be these tinted headlights. And you pointed out that, yes, I probably should wash the inside of the windshield. But,
yeah, that would help.
Yeah. But, I mean, the white lights definitely help it out quite a bit. What else are we? Probably going to have to do the other side. And you're right. I don't know what caused them all to start locking up like that. The rear one locked up, and I had to replace it, and, months ago.
Yeah.
And then this one here was already locking up last time, and I think that's why the brake pads went so bad so quick last time. Because when I took the pads off last time on the front, one pad was wore all the way down and the other one wasn't. And the one closest to the caliper was the one wore down to the metal. So that should tell me right there. Looking back, I should have been like, hey, I should probably replace this whole thing.
Right.
But I didn't. Hey, Jay, I didn't. I don't know. What can you do except work on it?
Yeah.
Learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
Now I don't know.
Well, you're not a mechanic too, and that makes it difficult to have a sense that something's wrong. Usually, that's the thing about a car is when things go wrong, they kind of go from working as they're designed to work to slowly not working well. And so over time, it's hard to recognize, hey, something ain't right.
Yeah.
And it takes, I drove the car and right away was like, something ain't right.
Yeah. And of course, your senses to it were new and fresh because you ride your motorcycle.
Yep.
And your Jeep you haven't really driven very much. I mean,
well, I can't drive it at all now.
You may have driven it twice in the past 6 months.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep.
So
it's got to go. Got to find a way to get another vehicle. But I don't think it'd be wise to get another vehicle right now. It would use up every excess that I have in my budget, and I'm using that excess right now to pay off past debts. Debts to get them down, to lower my payments and have some more cash flow to do the right thing with it.
Hi, Becky.
Yeah, hi, guys.
She came on.
Hi, Sandy.
BZ. Oh, Steve McAllister's like,
yeah.
BZ, obsession.
Yeah, she came on, I think, just during the commercial.
All right, so I need to catch up on all our comments here. I believe part of Jason, part of the reason you're there is to reveal things that would not be revealed. Okay.
Who said that?
That was Dennis. That was a while ago. Sometimes you need to take the first step. Okay. I agree, Steve. Priscilla Kemp says, good morning, y'all.
My Jeep won't go in reverse anymore, and it won't shift out of first gear.
So that's pretty frustrating.
And it's a good vehicle. I mean, if I can repair that, which I can't. Transmission work is way too heavy work for me.
I think Jana Hale just watches us for the commercials.
My neck would be out trying to turn those wrenches and hold that much weight up off. I don't know what I'm going to do about it.
He doesn't call the equipped. He equips called. That's
Yep.
true. So true, Dennis. Becky, hello. Steve, hey, Becky. Didn't you just fix your brakes? Yeah, the rear ones.
Yeah.
The rear ones are fine. You riding your brakes? Nope, I don't ride my brakes. Dad broke me in that habit a long time ago. said, don't ride your brakes, boy. That's pretty much how I do that. Matt has his own personal mechanic. Well,
He does that.
I do, but I actually did just as much work as Dad did yesterday. What's wrong with your Jeep is what Larry asked. Okay, and you just told him. Tranny stuff. Transmission stuff.
Yeah, and then something about the transfer case, differential or whatever it is, transfer case.
I don't know what all that stuff is.
Whatever it is that makes the four-wheel drive and
and
the
I did an oil
part-time
change.
four-wheel drive work. Yeah, I need to do that on my motorcycle now. Like that needs to be done.
Yeah, and I bet you that'll help with the... I'm trying to figure out... After resetting my phone yesterday and reconnecting my watch and all this stuff, I'm having to redo everything and get into a different...
Yeah.
Because I can't get everything back exactly the way I wanted it, so...
Right.
This is so powerful that we can all be on this journey together. That's what Dennis says. I agree.
I agree, too, because my plans were not for this.
Larry says that is an easy fix.
I hope so.
If you can tell us how to fix his...
You know, Larry,
Jeep.
if you can help me, I really need your help because I cannot do it, and I don't know what to do. And I need that Jeep for sometimes the weather isn't safe to drive a motorcycle on, and I can't miss work.
Right.
I can't miss the show. So if you can help and you can do it quickly, just let me know because I need it. I need your help.
And anybody else out there listening to us, you know, if you have any ideas, let us know.
Yeah.
Email us or private messages, whatever you want to do.
And Matt has been so graceful in helping me. I mean, you really have. I'm so thankful for you. You are.
It's because I love you, Brother Jay.
You've been my partner in life, and we've been warriors, and and taking this path and serving God, and
It's
not
been an
even
adventure.
knowing what He has planned for us. I mean, look at how this evolved. Just
I
it's
look at it.
amazing.
I look at it this way. I don't know what he has planned for us tomorrow, but I can't wait to see what it is.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do it. I'm in.
Think of it as like a Christmas present
Yeah.
each time, you know. Although some people may not look at it's pretty rough sometimes. You know, there bad things happen, rough things happen.
Yeah.
Getting through it with your faith intact makes your faith that much stronger. That's why it says, "Rejoice in tribulations, for through tribulations worketh patience."
Yes.
James chapter 1 verse 2. Count it all joy, my brothers and sisters, you know, when you fall into certain tribulations. You going to church, that's great. But your faith isn't
James
going to
chapter
grow
1 is
just
the
by sitting in the pew every week. You know, when you go through these things,
Get out on the field.
get out on the field.
It's exciting
Do
too.
some suicide sprints.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
We're at work here.
Jesus is
We're
our
at
quarterback.
war here. We're in a battle for life.
And we're his
for
wide
eternal life.
receivers.
And we want to see the world saved and the people saved. We want to see people come to Jesus and worship Him because He's worthy. He's a good God, worthy of praise and honor and worship.
Okay, so we got.
Thank you, Steve.
Says I have the best mechanic in Missouri. It costs about $80 to tow it to him, and he will fix it. Okay, so how much will he charge, Larry? That's what we want to know.
And how will He take payment? Yeah, because that's my problem is I don't have a ton of cash flow,
Right.
which I'm working on.
I like those. That just reminds me of a movie where this person had $1 million, right? And he had it in a briefcase, and he opened it up, and it's just a little stack of bills, about like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's like, "What's this?" It's $1 million. Well, in the movies, it shows a case like completely full of bills. He goes, "No, this is what $1 million looks like. It's why did you even need the case?"
What kind of bills?
I thought it was cool. They were probably like
$100 bills.
yeah, or $1,000 bills,
About 1,000.
because all it takes is what
1,000.
1,000 of them. But I don't know, and I don't know how many bills there were, but it wasn't a very big pile of money.
New bills stack. You get a lot of new bills in a stack. That's for sure.
You know, we used to clean the banks, the what do you call that? The Assemblies of God Credit Union banks. And we've been in there before whenever they received a new shipment of money and they were counting it out. New money stinks. It stinks. It's nasty.
Yeah.
It's pretty, I guess, but it stinks. I wouldn't, I'm glad I don't have a lot of money. Because the more money you have, the less you rely on God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love being able to know that my Lord has it.
I don't know. I don't think that matters.
I
Having a lot of money or not having a lot of money, I don't think that matters when it comes to the service of God.
no,
If
but
you have a lot of money and you're in God's service, you can do a lot with a lot of money.
I know, but I'm saying
And if you don't have any money,
as
you can do it
humans,
too.
the more money we have, the higher likelihood it is that we will depend on that money rather than God for our needs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Larry says, I'm reading. Thank you, Steve Mickey Mac. He
Yeah.
says,
I can probably come up with the $80 to get it there, but then I don't know how to get any money to do anything about it. Because it's going to be expensive.
we're not like
I
brothers
had a
to you,
quote-
Steve. We are brothers.
I had a quote that was $2,800 to rebuild the transmission.
Yeah.
It was 28. Yeah. To rebuild the transmission. And really what I need is even just a junkyard transmission switched out and then maybe a transfer case switched out. And then for it to be tested by somebody who knows if it's working right. Because I don't even know if I would know it's working right.
I think you need to get a hold of Larry after the show today. He says, can you get it towed to Farmer 181? He will not charge as much as the others. He will hold it until you can pay for it, or I will pay for it. That's what he said. Becky says, God will bless you when you serve him.
God has always blessed me for serving him. That's for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of times I don't even know what. Like,
Right.
I think I'm serving God in this way, and
Turns
it
out-
seems like nothing's happening, and then all of a sudden, somebody says something like you did this for me, and I'm like, what?
When did I do that?
What
What are you talking?
Yeah,
Have you been smoking crack?
yeah. Are you taking?
Well, that's
you
like
been
the-
eating mushrooms? Yeah, I'm like I didn't even know that God was working in that way.
Yeah.
What a great God we have, who can just do so much with so little. You think you're serving God in this mighty way, working hard and struggling for whatever ground you can gain to serve God. And then here, off in this side thing, God's doing mighty work in someone else's life through it, and you're not even, it's none of your intention, it's none of your effort, nothing you put into it. It's just kind of and I praise the Lord for that. And that takes such pride away. It humbles you.
It does.
It humbles you and makes you realize that.
He says, don't let your one hand let the other hand know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's in regards to giving and stuff. Don't give just for the sake of being seen giving, because if that's the case, then you've already got your reward.
Yeah.
Which is.
And that's what I take such. I have so much joy over my life. I'm struggling in today, like anyone else, because I am a sinner and I will struggle with the earth and struggle with my existence. But the thing about it is, in 2,000 years from now, if the Lord tarries that long, because he showed me that he was a good and loving father when I was 18 years old, I said, this is the God for me. This is the God that I want. And this is the God that I will worship. And I did so much wrong between then and now. But he still did work that in 2,000 years, because he showed me that he was worthy of giving myself to him. He did work that will last.
Yeah.
His name will be praised and worshiped tomorrow and the day after and long after I'm dead, because he was able to, because he accepted me, because he forgave me, and because he loved me, no matter what, loved me despite myself.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm still reading a bunch of. There's comments.
Thank you, Larry. I don't know what to say about that. I mean,
that would. I mean, if we can get you back on the road, he says he thinks it's the. I almost said tuning forks. But he said he thinks it's the shifting forks.
Well, it's an automatic. Shifting forks is standard. I prefer standard anyway.
Standard.
Even if I could trade it for a good vehicle. I mean, if somebody wanted it and knew that they could like a mechanic, if a mechanic knew that they could take it and very easily fix it and make a good profit off of it, and had another vehicle that was good running, but it doesn't have to be newer or great, as long as it'll get me around,
right,
and not let me freeze to death when it's 9 degrees.
You know, that would be beneficial.
Yeah.
Not freezing to death when it's 90 degrees, that would be awesome.
Yeah, but it is an automatic, Larry. Yeah.
Automatic. Yeah, the what do you call it?
Standards have shifting forks.
And those, you know, the only thing that makes those go out really, or if the gears break, or if the
well, they're
clutch
made
goes
out of brass and they will wear. So the moving parts in there will wear out the fork, and so the fork is basically a spacer that's connected to the shifter and pushes the gears back and forth into their proper places so that you can select the right gear. Well, when they wear, they don't push things far enough.
Need to make a song about that. The fork is in between the spacer connected to the shifter.
The fork is kind of a spacer. It's a spacer that you have control of, and you can.
Oh.
But then when it wears out, you can't push the parts that it's supposed to push far enough. So that they engage properly.
Okay, it may be a torque converter.
I hope it's a torque converter. I just don't know enough about it.
Yeah,
I don't know enough about it.
We are dumb when it comes to auto mechanics. I mean, I did have fun changing the oil in my car yesterday.
How was it?
You know, I jacked it up all the way. Dad said, be sure and jack it up real high. You know?
It's easier.
Now I know where it's located. I will be able to. I could probably do it without even jacking it up at all. But then, okay, so I got the oil drained, right? I'm like, first of all, it was pretty dirty.
Yeah.
I don't think oil's supposed to look like chocolate. So, unless someone put chocolate syrup in there.
It would mean there's some water in it, because oil, as it gets old, should be dark black. Oh, so you don't mean milk chocolate?
No, I mean like it was dark black.
Yeah. I was going to say, if it's got that milk chocolate,
I know what milk chocolate looks like. I know what the milk chocolate looks like whenever my Blazer blew up, because there was water on the inside of the throttle body, and then I drove it a little bit further because I had to get home, and I didn't have money for a deal for a tow. And then I opened it up to put more gas in it to clean it out, you know, and it looked like mud or like melted chocolate all on the inside of the throttle body.
Oh.
So that's what happens when you mix water and oil. And you have a whole, and you also throw in some heat.
Homogenize it.
And it basically forces the two to make a particular combination. And it is not good for your skin. But there's also a little gasoline in there as well. And don't eat it.
Oh, you got a real good mix.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome.
It's like chemistry experiment.
Yeah, exactly. Susan Burrow says, I am getting educated in auto mechanics.
I tore mine up, Larry. I tore mine up.
Jeeps have strong transmissions. They're hard to tear one up. Well, and then also, you didn't know. Were you using there's a special, Dad says, there's a special tranny fluid.
I was using the right stuff, he said.
Oh, okay. It's like a Type C.
What happened was something went wrong. Something wasn't working right with the transmission properly, I guess.
Oh.
So I drained the fluid and put a new filter in it. Well, then I think the new fluid with the new detergents started washing up all of the clutch material that had settled in the pan or in the transmission in all the places that it settles. And so it kept recirculating through the transmission and clogging the filter again. And so then one of the valves has a screen on it, and that clogged. So I took that out and cleaned that out. And so I've dropped the pan on it like 4 times, changing the filter and cleaning out the valves and stuff. But now I think that maybe because the clutches weren't engaging fully and all that, I think that it has worn out the clutches. I don't know though. I'm assuming, and the mechanic that looked at it said $2,800. It needs to be completely rebuilt. It's done.
Yeah.
And I can't.
And it's
pull
an honest
one out.
mechanic too.
I can't pull one out. I can't go to the junkyard and pull one out because my back and my neck, in a place where, like, if I was on my back doing this heavy work, it would throw my neck out. Plus, there's a bone chip in there that could cut my spine.
And your bicep is separating.
My bicep is separating, which is, it's getting better.
You know, his body's doing what
better.
bodies do best. They
When
get
they're 50.
old. Yeah. Yeah, you're not supposed to be. You know, there's a reason why people are supposed to retire, between 60 and 70 years old.
Right, and because of my back, I haven't been able to be physically active since I was 25.
That is
not
true,
very.
Jana. She goes, you guys have some bad luck in autos.
Yeah.
We should open up our own car sale company.
Not too bad.
Bad luck autos.
Not too bad, really. It's just I've only been able to afford vehicles that were so old and had over 150,000 miles, which is when they start to have problems that I can't really fix. I fixed everything else that went wrong with it. It's just the transmission's too heavy for me to pull.
Well, Larry says if someone could pull you out here, that would be good. So, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? It's stay out there. The gentleman can't fix it.
Right.
I mean, as of right now, it's just a paperweight, a big giant paperweight.
Yeah. And worse. And it's a good vehicle. It's beautiful. It's got a good, clean interior, decent, clean interior.
You could use some steaming.
Yeah. The paint's good on it. It's not rusty.
I mean, if your name is Rusty, no offense.
The engine is really strong.
Yeah. See, I noticed yesterday on mine, before I decided, okay, now I'm going to go and have all the wheels, all the tires rotated, the balance checked on them, and I'm having an alignment done. At R&R Tire, they're a sponsor of my being able to be on the road. So I am going to give a shout out to them because they did tell me it was okay to mention them on the air a couple times. Going to R&R Tire, there's 2 locations. There's one here in Springfield and one just outside of Springfield as you're headed to Nixa on Campbell. That's the particular one that I go to. Okay, yes, the rims and tires are expensive, but they have 6 months, same as cash. And you pay weekly, and then you have a year of road hazard, where they'll fix your flat. Well, they'll fix your flats anytime for as long as you own the car, and they'll do rotations and alignments for the entire time you own your car, after you purchase from them. Now the roadside assistance that only goes on for a year, but that's just a service they provide for free for their customers for a year.
How can I get? I think all I have is Larry. Maybe I should call you after the show and talk to you and make some sort of an arrangement because I do have to do something, and especially what's tomorrow, or is it in the midday today that the weather's supposed to turn bad? You know, and I have to be at work. I have to go to work. I can't not go to work. That's money that I can't do without.
I mean, I can see to it you get to work.
Yeah, and I appreciate all that. And
but I mean, if you ride the motorcycle to work and it starts to get icy, leave your bike there at work somewhere.
They said I could put it in the car wash.
Yeah, and I can come get you and bring you back.
Okay.
So,
I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support, and then all the encouragement earlier in the show. That's such a great thing. I just know that my purpose is to serve God, you know, and he and I want so desperately to do that well, you know.
I'm trying to figure out. Sorry, I just read something. It's getting worse. The trolls are getting worse.
What trolls?
Oh, the ones on Axe. The ones on Axe Media Group. All right.